Hey,
Yo, welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's your boy Scotty. That's your boy J Mac. And if you didn't know, now you're gonna figure it out. RM stands for Rolling Stone Magazine. This is actually his interview with them, so this is gonna be pretty cool.
that was slick off the top of the dome. But yeah, so RM along with all the members of BTS not
Yeah.
only did a group interview, but also they did solo
hmm
interviews. And we're gonna start off today with RM's. I actually saw a snippet from this interview, and he was super insightful. So we're gonna watch the whole thing here. It's got captions, so
Yep.
watch along with this. I'm sure you've already seen it, but we're gonna watch it for the first time and let the professor here take us to school.
Yeah, we're about to witness a genius in motion. Let's go.
Let's do it.
If we don't challenge anymore, then I think there's no reason that we should keep doing this as a team. So we have to show the world that we are still ongoing and still exploring and figure out like new things. But still, I think we have to push it to the edge even more, even more. And just still not enough.
RM,
Dope intro, by the
BTS,
way.
welcome back to
Yeah.
the cover of Rolling Stone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I relate to you because you seem to go through a mini existential crisis like maybe every week.
Yeah. Actually, I'm very nervous and afraid at the same time because it's been a while. And yeah, I really want to like pretend like that I'm okay and I'm ready, all decided, everything's great. I just can't wait. I just really want to say that, but even more than that, I really want to be honest. I just hope, everything's gonna be fine, and everything will be, but still at the same time, I still have fears.
Do you have stress dreams before something is coming out?
Yes. I have like extreme stress and extreme like joy at the same time. And it's always like back and forth every time, every night. I think like these days when wake up in the morning, like I always in a good mood, like, just get a cup of coffee and then like, yo, it's a new day. But at night, I feel like, man, like, I don't know what it's gonna be like. And so I really want to live great in the mornings, but I felt quite depressed and sad at night. But the funny thing is, it was like exactly the opposite like years ago. I loved the night because we like worked every day during daytime. And night, when I just come home and I feel alone, I felt really great. I really love to walk the streets where nobody is.
In 2022, you were saying to Pharrell, you still love music, but then maybe you love visual arts more, maybe you loved other things more. Did you come back around, and how was that journey for you?
I think music, you know, is always there. It's just the root. And, sometimes you just can't resist when just like some music you love is just turned on and you just can't help but just like dancing to it or like just like nodding to it, vibing to it.
Mm-hmm.
True. True.
And I think visual art, sometimes it requires more like backgrounds and trainings and more kind of like intellectual things. In the military, I listened to like so many albums. I'm in love with music more right now, maybe.
But when you think of listening to music during that time, was there a moment, is there an album or a song you can think of you connected with and said, this is my life this is saving my life right now?
I think
question.
last year it was Tyler's track with Tizo Touchdown.
Oh, Tyler the Creator, shout out. RM knows
Um,
ball. But and this is crazy too. Which we're trying not to pause a lot in this because let the man speak his words, and we're just gonna absorb here. But even somebody like him talking about how like there's so much pressure, and like now he's like he used to feel great being in love, but now it's like all the different thoughts going through his head, like all the pressure that they have. I can only imagine, man. Like it's such a tough thing. I can imagine just mentally, not only just physically, but mentally. having this as your career and being as massive as they are, like,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that like the mental back and forth, especially after having come back after like such a I'm sure in some ways it feels like forever. Even though for us like it does, but it doesn't at the same time.
mhm,
That time away gives you like the ability to sit down and reflect. And how
right,
he said
right,
that he's like in love with like music still. Like
mm,
maybe that time away allowed him to refine that love. But just like a lot of like what he's saying, like I think comes like with maturity.
oh, 100%, 100%.
Forever so long. It was like Tizo singing
Yes.
the phrase. Maybe like at that time, the military felt too long for me. I just kept thinking like, man, maybe it's gonna be like forever, and then the forever is too long. So I was like singing the phrase all the time, and I got I think I was being healed singing along to it,
Mm.
and like Dijon's album was great.
Production is so
Yes,
crazy in that.
right, right. Spotify Wrapped. I checked it. The Dijon's album. I think I listened to it more than like 500 minutes. And Joji, Past Won't Leave My Bed. The past won't leave my bed. Sometimes it's just like
Shout out 50 Frank. RM knows ball, dog. It's crazy that 50 Frank became Joji. That's just an old YouTube guy. You kids don't even know that.
a simple phrase, but it just hits you like so hard when it is combined with like certain type of sound and instruments.
You made it clear that when with Butter and Permission to Dance, they were so huge and so successful, they left you confused about what is BTS. And I think that you had a few years to think about that. I think you did figure it out, but I'm curious about like your sort of mental journey from, man, I don't know what we are anymore, to I know now.
I think I still don't know, and maybe I think a musician should talk with their music, right? And it's being more and more just careful to explain and like describe how I'm feeling right now or what like this album is about, or well, I think it's just this magazine and this interview with you is just another record so I could like look back to it when I'm like 50. Yeah, looking back to it and like, man, when I was like 31, I felt like that, and I was like talking to you, like, because I believe right now, like this type of feeling is the deepest truth in my heart. I think I'm still really confused because I thought in the military maybe if it's just all finished and we all come back in 2025 June, then maybe there's some type of very precise, sharp consensus that we could all like relate to, but which was not very true. So I think these 14 tracks are the could be the type of it's still blurry, but it could be just an answer to the people who is wondering like what is BTS in 2026. But I think for this album, I try to say that express more of universal things like love, hurt, nostalgia, missing, and I think I'm still into that expanding personal experiences into universal emotions and feelings.
The energy reminds me a little bit of the beginning.
Oh, really?
The early rap, more rap rocky stuff.
I think that's really great to hear because yeah, I had plenty of time to look back. It's truly a new start, and so I think why you felt that energy was because that I think we actually are treating this moment as our new start. But I think we unconsciously just coming back to like when we started, like all those really turned up energy, like very resistant and oh, I want to show something to the world type of energy. But I think we got more mature. This is gonna be definitely the new chapter of BTS.
It's so interesting to listen to your solo albums, Indigo and Right Place, Wrong Person, because in some ways it feels like these are the albums, the kind of music that you might have made had there never been a BTS.
Right.
You know, it's
I
like,
think so.
it's interesting to me that you could even get to that place as an artist mentally.
I think, it's really funny to say, and I think lots of people maybe just slightly know, like who BTS is. Maybe the people, won't agree, but I think I'm really finding myself as, man, I'm born as a kind of a anti to like something. Yeah, like when everybody is saying yes, I really want to say no. When I've been doing,
I love that, and that's honestly I get that feeling in both those albums. Both those albums are so beautifully done, and it was honestly one of those things that kind of opened our eyes to him in general, Indigo especially, but then wrong person, right place, wrong person. I always get it wrong. That album was so influential to me just musically because it's so beautifully done. I can understand. Like I feel like I you step into his brain in that album and you get a little peek inside of how he's feeling. So to hear him talk about that too, it, I'm like, okay, it affected me how he wanted it to affect everybody. So it worked. It worked.
Yeah, the individual artist outside of the group is always fascinating to see.
Hmm.
And then with RM being like as vulnerable as he's kind of like being right now, like talking about like certain things,
Yeah.
it's just kind of like cool because when he said like this is the kind of music that you would have made without BTS, it's like yes, 100% I can see that
Hmm.
because on his own he's his own monster.
Right. Right. Hell yeah.
Uh, but like with the group, there is like a different dynamic because you have to like cohesively add six other personalities and six other
Right.
flavors to like what you're putting out. So yeah, so you know,
I initially missed your monster pun. That was pretty good, by the way.
that's
It
why I'm
came to
like,
me late.
BTS, I loved it, but I really did hate something, of
ah,
course, and I just couldn't deny all those feelings. And but I think I knew like um, what what is, what to like show to the people, or what to just hide and just make it into an album. When I just come back as a solo, I was like thinking of like, man, I gotta do this, I gotta say it, and because if it's seven, I have to do my role, have to sometimes be nice, and because lots of kids are watching us.
Mm.
But sometimes I just started music, you know, just on the streets and by rapping, and I just can't resist that. Sometimes I feel like I just want to do this. I just want to do this shit. So
I
I
just
listen
want to
to
do
pop
this
music.
shit. Yeah,
Um,
It sounded like Peter right there.
yeah.
That's Peter vibes.
Extra sounds like Peter.
I love it. I enjoy like every pop music. I always like check the charts sometimes. Sometimes when I just don't want to use my brain too much, I just find like the top 50 global and just listen to it. But sometimes I feel like, man, this is not enough. I have to like dig more. I have to explore what the world is like. I just want to see the edges, of this earth. So when it comes to solo project, every infras and every powers and every impacts, the numbers maybe, or the masses, the scales, that helped me a lot, so that I could express maybe without thinking of economic things, and I could do a song with Little Sims, Monster Somni. They're great artists. By the name of, maybe sometimes using the name of BTS and the brand. When it comes to the team project, by the experiences that I had on my solo, just do everything to like hunt it or even more than that. I could tell the team or the members that let's push it to the edge, like even more, even more. This is not enough. This is too safe. If we don't challenge anymore, then I think there's no reason that we should keep doing this as a team.
Hmm.
So we have to show the world that we are still ongoing and still exploring and figure out like new things. I think we have to like have an experiment and push it to the edge even more, and just still not enough.
How did you resolve? I mean, your
I mean, I
service was
like
not
that. Like,
easy
hold
on
on,
you.
like, pause it
No.
real quick.
Yeah.
Talking about like taking it to the edge. That's the thing, though. Is like when you've reached like this certain level of of quality, I guess you
Hmm.
could say, like of the product that you put out,
Hmm.
you're gonna continue to like you know want to be habitual line crossers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're gonna keep wanting to like push it to the edge and push
You
it to the
got
edge.
to. You
Yeah,
got
like
to.
and that's really like the only way that like real growth is gonna happen is like if you keep like pushing it forward, if you keep
Hmm.
advancing. So
Yep.
I can respect that, like, and just the fact that it's still not enough, like shows
Right.
like that further deepens, like what he was saying, like when he's like in love with music, right?
Absolutely. And
So,
you could see how much it means to him too. Just watching him talk about it, like
yeah,
especially his own stuff, and then just the having the passion, and then like going like I'll go listen to the number one on the top global charts, which by the way was been BTS for a hot minute now, but like he's such a student of the game, a
yeah,
student of the game of music. Like and he just has such a natural gift. It's so cool.
yes.
Still not enough.
How did you resolve? I mean, your service was not easy on you.
No.
Are you sort of still recovering psychologically? How is that going for you?
I think I got out of it quite a lot, if we call it a cave. And it's been this today's favorite February, so it's been 8 months. And I think I'm good right now, but sometimes when I try to sleep and when it pops up, man, forget it. I'm done. I'm not in the military anymore. And but that experience hitting the rock bottom, like psychologically, in the truth, I think that helps me. Like, this is now I'm sleeping on my bed. I'm good. You know, yeah. I think that's the great self therapy.
Did that experience or the past few years change what you want out of life as a person?
I always want to live the present, the now, but it's just there are so many things in 2026 that are like distracting you and me from living now. Like we're thinking when you look at the reels and all the shores that we're living now, but which is not. They just keep distracting me. So I really miss the time that I just walk in the rain and thinking of everything. I think those were the times that I truly lived the present. I really don't want to think of the past and the future because they are just fantasy. But it's really hard just to focus on where you are right now. So today is like 12th of February, and I always try hard to sometimes just put the phone down and maybe read books. When I just like this, I try hard not to think about the past and the future because the future never comes.
Yeah.
Future never comes.
You were in that dark place psychologically and you got out of it. It wasn't forever. What would you say to someone who, there might be a fan who feels that way right now?
I got out of the crisis I had last year because of the all those environments I had. I got out of it like physically, but mentally, I'm just admitting it that essential sorrow. I don't know what it is called, but it's always there in some part of my heart. So I think I'm still in the middle of just admitting like who I am. I'm like maybe too sensitive than the others, maybe the average, or I think too much. Sometimes I can't sleep. But do you want to die? No. I try to love the life, the skies, taking walks, good friends, drinks, music, interview. I'm still fighting the demons, I think maybe it could be forever, and forever is too long, like I said. But I just want to say one thing, like simply, in short, I think life is fun, because it's not because I'm BTS or I'm a star in the spotlight. I think just life is fun, and living is better.
I thought we'd end with the meaning of life. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, the most beautiful and heartfelt thing that he could have said is something that I always talk about whenever we're like doing reactions. And part of the reason why I like to give them like as much anonymity as somebody who watches them online can give is that
Right.
I love to learn I love to learn like a little bit about the person behind the idol, but more importantly, I love to know that they're okay. 'Cause
Right.
I do understand that in their line of work, there are a lot of pros and
Haters.
cons. No, I'm saying there's a lot of pros and cons, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the cons, is that we see them as larger than life, and having like a humble interview like this to like break down like the person, say that just reading, like watching the sunrise and the sunset, or walking in the rain, things like
Right.
that are like so simple and free and given to us from nature.
Right.
A lot of times like those are things that we really need for like self-reflection and healing. And if he is in the middle of like a healing process, then just continuing to be like who he is. And like I get the idea of like overthinking and like constantly doing it, but you're a smart individual. Like this goes to anybody. Like you're not crazy if you're talking to yourself just because you're thinking about things. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they can be good things, they can be bad things, they can be things that can help you or whatever. But continue to talk to yourself. Like continue to like just do these things. Like put your phone down. Like get off.
Yeah.
Get off the internet. Like it is
Yep.
I've said it before. Like for as good as the internet has brought to the world, it is equally brought bad things like hardship.
Right.
Like I think I'm glad that social media is here. It allows us to connect, but I also feel that it also does something to our brain, and that as the generations, or as like the decades I guess have gone on, and it's become like more at the ready, like we are less happy as a community.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, and for him to be so open and forthcoming too about like how he's feeling, and it's like, yeah, like we all have those times where we feel down on ourselves, and I think that's just such a beautiful message that living is better. It really is. Like
Living is the life. Like even if you're not the most well off, even if you are not a star, life is worth living. Life is fun. There are things that in life that the world gives you that are free, that will make you infinitely more happy than seeing what other people have online and wanting it. Like want what's for you.
Yeah. And sometimes what somebody else may have may not be the best thing for you, and that's okay. We all have to find our own path, our own journey, our own ways to cope with the craziness of the entire situation of living here on this planet in general. So that's such a beautiful message from a beautiful man, And I'm excited to check out the other one. So if you guys want us to do the other members, their interviews, and of course the group one, let us know down in those comments down below. We'd love to hear from you on this.
100%. Look, if you haven't heard it today, if you need to hear it, I love you. I love you the most.
We'll catch you on the next one.